Let's move on now, because as we mentioned, as the president mentioned, I should say, there were some important primary results in New York last night, and a big win for Mayor Zohran Mamdani, because all three candidates endorsed by the New York City mayor won their races.
What I see these results as a reflection of are the fact that New Yorkers are hungry for a new kind of politics. They are hungry for a politics that understands working people should be at the heart of it. And they're hungry for a politics that looks at the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world and understands that it's unacceptable that 1 in 4 are living in poverty.
Now let's bring in CBS News political reporter Zak Hudak. Zak, thank you for your time. So what could this mean for the general election come November?
I think it means that there is a lot of enthusiasm for outsider candidates. We've seen now at this point through the primaries that have played out so far, 6 incumbents who lost their primaries in the House. They were all Democrats, and another 2 who lost their primaries in the Senate. So I think that shows enthusiasm for new faces, and that will affect folks that are incumbents going into general elections this fall. But it's also going to have a big effect on the messaging through this race. We're going to see, I think, a lot more talk about the extremes of both parties. I do want to point out, despite all of this success, as you point out, 3 Mamdani-endorsed candidates, 2 of them self-proclaimed Democratic Socialists, one in New York yesterday. If you look over in our backyard here in Maryland, we saw Governor Wes Moore, a very establishment figure, win overwhelmingly against a more progressive candidate, 88%. And then also right across the river in Steny Hoyer's old district, we saw his and Wes Moore's pick beat out a more progressive candidate. So if you get more into the middle of the country, we're still dealing with a lot of sort of these similar voting patterns through previous histories. It's more in these cities where we're seeing this big push for a little bit of democratic socialism.
Yeah, so how are Republicans then reacting to wins by those Mamdani-backed candidates? Do they see that as a good thing for them in November?
They do. I was speaking a little bit earlier today to a Democratic consultant who's working on about 24 battleground campaigns for Democrats, and he said basically, look, those voters in New York are not the path to winning back the House or the Senate. They are voters in the middle of the country. We know that those are going to be Democratic seats. We need to win over those more moderate voters. We are already hearing the messaging from national Republicans trying to paint the entire party like these Democrats in New York. Here's what Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, said earlier today.
There are many Mamdanis popping up all around the country. It is a dangerous thing. This is not a joke. We're in a fight right now to save the republic. And every American needs to take this seriously. You need to wake up. This upcoming midterm election is not the midterm elections of years ago. This is going to decide the direction of the country.
And this is not something out of the ordinary. Just in this past presidential election, you saw President Joe Biden running ads that featured Marjorie Taylor Greene, a then Georgia representative, running those ads nationally. So this is the playbook for both parties, and I think what we'll expect to see over the next few months until we get to November.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens come November. Zak Hudak, thank you for your time today.